come. My little sister was getting married that December, and I asked her to be part of it. I asked her, if you can come, just come. And she was excited.
I was just like, he's inviting me to his sister's wedding. He must like me. I don't know. But, you know, that kind of struck a chord in my heart. And I was like, but then I was like, no, he's far. It's never going to work. So I just kind of disregarded it. But, yeah, one conversation led to another. And then, you know, his sister, per se, was coming here. And we kind of just reconnected that way. So it was interesting. And
she came and we saw each other and we were like, hey, this is me, this is whatever, whatever. And that's how we started. That was December 2011. She stayed for like 3 weeks. Yeah, she stayed for 3 weeks. And at the end of those 3 weeks, just something happened in those 3 weeks. Because it wasn't really like me to propose, ask for hand of marriage in like for 3 weeks. Man, we don't do that. Especially me, I don't do that. So something happened. I think God was working something, you know, in the background, and I did not know. So at the end of those 3 weeks, we were going downtown to my auntie's place. So she wanted to, you know, she had some few stuff for me to give my mom. And on our way back, we just passed through some beach in Dar es Salaam. And we just said, you know what, let's just stop here and just enjoy this view for now. And then I proposed. I don't know how I did it. It was just crazy. It was out of the blue. And I asked her, would you marry me?
If this is a guy, number one, I need to go see him in December. So I've started this new job. I'm a new nurse, no vacation time, no nothing. I said, you need to make that happen. And then number two, I said, my passport is expired, my American passport. I said, I need that to come ASAP. Number three, I need to have like 3 weeks of vacation ready to go, approval. And then number four, he needs to ask me to be his wife. And luckily, I asked my boss for time. Instead of 2 weeks, she gave me 3 weeks. I got my passport redone. It took like 1 week to come back. You know, just like there was just green light after green light after green light. And then the last thing was for him to ask me to be his wife, and he did. So everything checked off on my prayer request, so I knew I was in the right place.
She was just laughed, and then you walk out, you kidding? I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I'm asking you to marry me. And then she said yes. And but after that, she came back to the U.S. and I stayed back at home. So we did that for almost a year, since that December until December. So we did this long distance kind of relationship, Skyping a lot, text messaging a lot, phone calls. It's crazy, but that's really how we didn't really date, if I can say, because we were not close to each other. We were more far apart. So it was more of Skyping, and you know, we go hours in Skyping and text messaging and all, but it was a daily thing.
Greatest lessons I learned is to always trust in God's timing. His timing is, and it sounds so cliche because people say it a lot, but I think that's one of the mistakes we make, a lot of youth make in this generation, is something looks right, something feels right, and they go for it, not trusting in God's timing. Before Tumaini came into my life, I was single. I was living by myself. All my siblings were married. They were having children. They were having Thanksgivings and all these parties at their houses. They were homeowners. And here I am in a 1-bedroom apartment, 750 square feet in Peoria, Illinois, working as a nurse, having no clue what's going to happen in the next year. And one day I just cried out to God, honestly, from an honest place, and I was like, everybody's married. All my siblings have somebody, and they have children. And here I am. And I said, God, I need someone in my life. And I said, but only if it's the right timing. You know, I said, only if it's the right timing. I don't want to force anything. I don't want to push anything. I said, when it's the right timing, it's the right timing. So I waited. I trusted and I waited. Was it easy? No. Were there times when I got discouraged? Yes. But even in the midst of discouragement, I knew that God's plan was better than mine, and his thoughts were better than mine, and his solution is always better than mine. So that gave me comfort and peace to wait.
She's one interesting person. And I told her, I think from the very first conversation, I was like, you're very interesting. And I like that. I like to know more about you. The culture, because of our upbringing, and I really credit her mom for doing that, because she kept them grounded. So she's not a typical African American girl, because I've seen a lot of them when they come back home and they're trying to be bougie and all, you know, don't touch me, don't touch me. But she wasn't like that. She was very real and very open and very honest and very direct, and I liked that about her. So she didn't give me any hard time, and she was very understanding, and because I could speak English, so she would understand me more, and we understood each other in that level. She respected me, so she didn't come with that American way of thinking or American way of doing things. She just wanted to be herself, and herself is a beautiful person, just to see herself. So that culture thing didn't really hit me while in our relationship, in the beginning of the relationship. When I moved to the U.S. now, that's when, you know, things now are changing, because you meet different people and you see how people work, how they operate, and I was like, whoa, this is totally different. Plus, I didn't have any papers, so I couldn't work, and I'm the kind of person who used to up and go because I used to have my own business. So it was hard for me to, from 100 to go down to 0 doing nothing. That was a shock. Number 2, how people eat. The food was different. Taste was bad. I was like, oh my God, I want to go back home.
I struggle with that all the time, because my husband says I'm a perfectionist and I want everything to go a certain way. Like even on my wedding day, I saw things being a certain way and I wanted them that way. And boy, when they did not go that way, oh man, he had to live with it for like 4 years. But what God has taught me is that it's not about me. It's never been about me, and it's not going to be about me. It's about him. And that when I understand that, I will let him navigate my life instead of me trying to navigate it and end up being disappointed.
Adventure, amazing. It's been wonderful. There have been ups and downs, teaching moments, learning moments, awesome moments, perfect moments, joyous moments, and God has been good in all.
And I have 2 boys, Zephaniah and Johan. I love them to death. I wouldn't trade them for the world. I wouldn't rewind, reverse, anything. Those kids are my joy. They brighten up my day. When I'm at work and I get a few minutes, I look through their pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're grown. They came to us in a crazy time. A lot of people don't know, and they probably will never know. But Zephaniah came to us when my husband and I were struggling to figure out how to make us work and what to do. Our marriage was so chaotic and there was so much going on, and he came at the perfect time. He was almost like a reassurance that we're gonna win together. Me and him will win together despite what we're going through. And Johan was such a surprise. a wonderful surprise, and we're like, yeah, let's do this again. And he turned out to be just like his father. So my kids are everything.